This is Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast. Did you guys see this? This is unbelievable. What is that all about, Kinger?
Get in here for the real thing. Like, let's get weird.
Maybe I blacked out trying to figure out what was going on.
Doubt, worry, fear, because that's what we're breaking the mold on here.
Welcome to Wild on 7th, presented by Pilot Games. We're here until it's here.
All right, welcome back to Wild on 7th. Hey, it's been a minute. Last time we came at you was, I think, the Friday of the deadline. And then we were scheduled to record on Monday. There was some travel issues, 10 inches of snow, nobody in or out of Minneapolis. Happened to affect you a little bit, Kinger. But nonetheless, it's been a minute. We've got a lot to catch up on. But as always, we are presented by our friends at Pilot Games. Make sure when you're out having a good time, you grab one of those tablets, play their games. You can win some dough, buy a couple more drinks, get dinner paid for, whatever it might be. And not only can you win, your community wins too, because that money goes back to fund a lot of the youth sports in town. So thanks again to our friends at Pilot Games for sponsoring it. Kinger, there's been a lot that's gone on. We talked about the guys that the Wild have acquired at the deadline. Now we're getting our eyes on them a little bit. The Wild come home, they hit the skids, big storm in town. And then they go out on the road in Chicago, St. Patty's Day. Your lock of the year is
Ryan Hartman in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day. I actually called my wife. I said, "Hey, honey, I'd like a Reuben on gluten-free. I'd like some green Jell-O. I'd like a Shamrock Shake on the TV tray." I only got the Reuben. I guess the Jell-O and the Shamrock Shake was too much to ask. But, Ryan Hartman will always be in the box score.
Some way.
Mostly when he plays in Chicago. So if you really want to focus on it, it's more when he's on the ground in the soil in Illinois. I've also been playing some pretty good hockey, Mr. Hartman. He's very visible. I thought we would hammer them. Just to show you my level of confidence. So I bet on them to win by 2, and I felt pretty good about that bet. I was waiting for the Kirill or Matt Boldy empty net goal, cover, win, hammer the Wild after the couple tough losses to last place teams, and then ties it up again. We'll get into the Gus stuff, but you know what I did, Carts?
What'd you do?
I'm breaking the mold. So what I did is I put the exact same amount of money, live bet, on winning in overtime. I just said, you know what? I still believe we're going to win. So what? We're not winning by 2 and recoup most of the money. So we're back. We're changing how we look at things. We're not. It's not about Colorado and Dallas and woe is me. We're the 5th best team in the NHL, but 2 of the teams are ahead of us. It's time to just hammer down, drive over people. We got to change the mindset right now. Let's just go. Let's just start getting it. 13 games left.
I think that's something to talk about too, because it felt for the first time this year. Now, here's a couple of stats for you. There are 2 teams in the NHL that haven't lost 3 games in a row in regulation.
One of them's the Wild.
Haven't
done it since last year, I heard on the radio broadcast.
3 in regulation.
Yep. Awesome. Who's the other team?
Colorado.
Oh, God. Nazem Kadri, the unbeatable Colorado Avalanche.
Well, they're gettable.
They've been losing.
Well, Pittsburgh just beat the wheels off them. And then there's a big matchup that I think a lot of eyes are going to be on this week. Dallas has got a tough week. I think they're a handful of points ahead of the Wild, 4 at the moment. I think Dallas is sitting at 94. Minnesota's sitting at 90 points in the standings.
They have 2 games in hand. We're pretty locked.
But I think Dallas is a team you can catch. I don't think Colorado can. Colorado's got 3 games in hand, 7-point advantage. So they're going to be tough to chase down. Colorado's better than 500 teams. So let's say you got 10 points down, even games right now, if they were 500 hockey over those 3 games. So you're chasing 10 with 13 to go. That's tough. 4 is doable. And again, Dallas is better than a 500 club. So let's just say how many games in hand does Dallas have? 2?
2 games. They have 15 games left. We have 13. So
let's just say they're 6 points up roughly right now. They're gettable, especially because you have a head-to-head Saturday. But where Dallas, it's tough for them. Their next 3 games, Thursday, Colorado, Saturday here, afternoon game. So 2 teams, 2 of the best in the league. And I think Dallas just dropped their last game too, if I'm not mistaken. Now they've been on an unbelievable heater. I think 14-0-1 their last 15, haven't lost in like regulation since January 22nd. But that has been, they got beat, so that streak is broken. Now a tough little stretch for them now. But yeah, so I think that they're mostly locked in third place, but it's gettable, big week, and I think exciting to see like where it's going to go.
I don't mind being on the road against Dallas. I wanted to hear, this is a little bit not quite as recent as last night's game, but Hines had all these comments after this. We went on kind of this last place tour of the NHL with the Rangers and Toronto. We're dropping these games, the Philly loss in overtime or whatever it was, shootout. But he was talking a lot about, I couldn't hear what questions the reporters were asking, but it was about routine. And it was about changing things up. I don't know if it was about practicing this narrative that some of the reporters have been pushing, or if it was about when we're at home, the guys maybe are a little more distracted. Did you know what that was about? So he had clearly tried something. So he kind of said, hey, we got 5 out of 6 points on the road before this little mini swoon. But now, he was like, yeah, some stuff's going to have to change. If you're going to play like this and not do the routine, maybe the routine has to change. So I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if they weren't practicing, or maybe there's an optional skate and guys weren't coming. I didn't know if you knew, but I don't know. I like us on the road. That's all, a long way to say it. I think we got a good room. We're going to have some brothers. We're going to have. I just think I am totally down with going on the road for the playoffs. It might even be an advantage in some sense.
I don't know exactly. I have a thought on that, and that's where I was going with that initially before getting into that tangent on where the Wild are in the standings and chasing Dallas, the 2 losses. It's the Wild have been good, and I think Hines has done a good job. Even did a great job coming out of the Olympic break, managing workload and fatigue. And the Wild drop a couple of games, and it is unfortunate because you look at the standings and they're 4 points back right now. You could have gotten those points against those teams, the Rangers, Toronto, Philly. Like you take 4 of those points, like now you're tied at Dallas. A little different, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. I think that their response in where it came from is just a coach trying to grab the attention of a team. And it was interesting how fast the tune changed, wasn't it? I mean, if you're listening to the coach is, hey, yeah, that's not good enough. And even Bill Guerin says it's unacceptable to lose to these teams. And then on the other hand, you hear him from time to time say, this is the NHL. Every team's good. You can't look past any of them. Now, I think Hines and this narrative when it comes to practice and not practicing enough.
Is that what it's about?
I think that's what the reporters want to make it a story. Like it's hard when the team's playing so well. You've got to drum up some reason why they go on a 2.5 game skid. And
by the way, got points in the Philly game too. It's just like the end of the world.
And you got to drum it up. But I think that it started to gain traction a little bit, and I was like, dude, this could be a net negative if this gets juice, because they've doubled down on rest and how important it's been throughout the season. And if in the 11th hour, when you need it most, you switch and you're like, no, we're going to change these routines. It worked all year. You're one of the best teams in the NHL, but we're going to switch right now because you're dropping games to teams that you shouldn't be losing to. When there's all kinds of excuses that should possibly be there, the team might be fatigued. They did have 9 Olympians. They were riding a high coming out of the Olympic break with guys winning medals. This might be the hangover a little bit right now. And
I can't let the vultures dictate.
But even look at the games. The games were not bad. Sure, the Toronto game. Toronto? Now this is another stat that'll blow your mind. It blew my mind when I saw it. The Toronto game, they got out to a 3-0 lead, second period goals. So what's the issue? It starts. The Wild aren't starting on time. In the month of March, the Wild are tied for the fewest goals given up in the first period across the league. Mm-hmm. Guess how many goals they've given up in the first period in the month of March? Total.
7.
3.
Wow.
So it's not like they're bad starts. They just fall behind second period. Now they're down a couple goals. They got to chase it. And what have they done in response in the third? in the Ranger and the Toronto game, they put together the most shots they've had in back-to-back games in the history of the franchise, and they beat it by 20 shots. So when they wanted to dictate play and pace, they did. It's almost like what they're guilty of right now is just being a confident team that says, you know what? We maybe are guilty of taking these guys a little bit lightly, but when we turn it on, and which is it's something that you like in a team.
They got the switch.
Yeah, they got the switch.
And Hines,
maybe you want them to turn it on before the first drop of the puck, but they got the switch.
And Hines will go, winning is not inevitable, was his quote, if you remember, right? Which is kind of like, that's about the switch. That's about like, I know you guys got the switch, and I know you guys know you got the switch, but like maybe keep it on at least dimmer the whole game, because this can get away from us. All the teams are good. But it was funny. I was watching I couldn't see the games. I watched one game on TV on my vacation, but I would watch the post-game press conferences because they were, and all I was getting it would be like, Trocheck beats Hartman in a face-off. I get like an alert on my phone. I'd be like, oh, Jesus, and we're losing those couple games. But it was interesting watching Zuccarello get interviewed after the Ranger game and also Faber, because they basically were like, not a great start or whatever, but also did you see what, when we went, did you see what it looked like? And there's no better interview than, first of all, Zuki takes the mic when it's tough. And then Faber, when Faber plays bad and he gets interviewed, it's hilarious. He'll be like, yeah, that sucked. I tried to make that long pass at the end. You talking about the terrible one? Yeah. At the end of my shift, that goal was definitely my fault. That was not a good play. I mean, you're just like, this guy's captain material, right? He's just like, yep, yeah, that happens sometimes at the end of my shifts. I'll try something and I don't know what I was looking at, but that they felt like a group that, and the last thing we need in this town is a couple reporters working us into a frenzy, and we got our guys on the treadmill, while they're on the bench, doing Ivan Drago, or we're doing 2-a-days because the media wants us to practice more. We got to switch, and I think when it needs to be on, it'll be on.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. Over the course of the week, there were a couple milestones hit too. So Brodin hit 900 games. Mm-hmm. Spurgeon hit 1,000. For me, those are big numbers.
But there's one that's more impressive.
What's that?
DaCosta.
2,500. There are a lot of even numbers. I thought we were going to go with maybe Tarasenko hitting 700 points.
Did you know that when Adam and Eve, Adam had a problem with his fig leaf in Eden, and Tony DaCosta was there. He worked on it. He gave him a new strap, and he put it back on. That's how long Tony DaCosta's been an equipment manager in the NHL. And also, what a stud. This he could be in the movie Grease right now. Like black leather jacket, throw it on him, probably has abs. Guy's an absolute just stallion. Tony DaCosta. And all of the things. Tarasenko, let's give a wink to the family. The Spurgeon captain, 1,000 games. He's going to be recognized coming up here, right?
Yeah, I think Saturday's game.
I love that.
Your captain
delay that game. Dallas, just make it weird. Big presentation.
I think it's an afternoon game too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll get into that Dallas game. But, a lot of milestones.
Yeah, so Spurgeon hitting 1,000, Brodin hitting 900, huge numbers. Those guys, and I think for me, what's exciting about this group is those guys getting a chance to go on a run. I think if you ask Spurgeon, he understands he's on the back nine. If he's at the Players' Championship right now, he's entering holes 16, 17, 18.
Be careful on 17.
Be careful on 17.
Be careful.
Yeah. So I think he knows that, right? So all the things he's been through in a wild sweater, and to get the timing to where there's don't you think it's fair to say? And it seems like it's the first time that it's real, that this team is legit, that has a chance to go on a run and make some noise late in the year. Don't you think that this is more real than it's ever felt in the past?
Yeah, we are a top 5 team in the NHL. The thing I've been really thinking about, Karts, is at some point here, I don't know when I'm going to start, but I'm going to do the podcast I think I'm actually going to wear a swimsuit, not shorts. I think I'm just going to only wear a swimsuit when we do the pod because I'm manifesting the warm weather. I'm manifesting still playing wild hockey when our boats are in the water in White Bear Lake. I want to be able to go home from a wild game and jump into the lake. I want to play that deep. And I think the swimsuit is the right move because shorts has the word short in it. I don't want anything that can be vulnerable. I don't want anybody to go, I don't need to see a tweet from the Dallas Stars that says, short playoffs wear shorts. I'm going swimsuit. I want an inner lining. I want a rope, to tie it up a little bit.
You're an inner lining guy?
Yeah, I think most of my suits have a lining. If you don't, it's not a swimsuit. It's just board shorts. I don't know what that netting does anyway.
It's just
kind of gross, but
itchy.
But yeah, I'm gonna go swimsuit. I think maybe I'm gonna wait because I don't want to get in like this 3-game swoon and I'm wearing the swimsuit and we start to think about it too much. Maybe I'll wait till the Mall of America or wherever we start the playoffs. But yeah, we got to get. This is also going back to Spurgeon and Brodeen, playing a really different role, right? And you've talked about it on the broadcast a lot with Spurgeon. Pretty cool. I mean, they are just this. They're kind of locked in as the second pair and, doing the Lord's work there, still getting their minutes, still being defensively sound. Spurgeon's had a few big goals, kind of game winners. But it's just an interesting, it's got to, and Jared's really bridged the gap from kind of the old culture of the Wild that to this kind of new room that I think is decidedly different than it was, 10 years ago. So pretty cool what those guys have been able to do.
Another thing I want to talk about here is 97, 2, and 10. Because we talk about this on the podcast. We were like, hey, what's the signature move? Like, when you circle the wagons, you go 2 and 10, you wind it up, you get it going. Like that was your signature move for the first couple of years. We haven't seen it.
So you're taking credit that Kirill does this more now.
No, he goes, oh, you want me to do that again?
I know.
So then here we go on X or Twitter. Kirill scores a goal. And this is in the Philly game, the Wild's second goal of that game. And on Twitter, people come at me. This one's from Nick Hanches. Wild on 7th boys get credit for that KK97 goal, right? John and Ryan pumping the Mohawk to Kaprizov in their last pod. Boom. Next one. Eric, I think this is Vigo. Thanks to Ryan and John and Wild on 7th for encouraging 97 to bring back the 10-2 Mohawks. Quote tweet. The goal, like they're recognizing, but think about having that talent, that ability to just be like, oh, you want to see that kind of goal again?
He literally asked you. He goes,
yes.
So you think I should do that more?
And it was a genuine ask.
And you know what's the best part about it? I was just thinking about this on the way in. So you told him to do that. You know what I told him to do? Grow out his hair. I think he's getting a haircut every 3 days. I watched the back of his neck last night and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy... He's honestly getting a haircut every 3 days and doing Mohawks. So clearly how he feels about me is not the same as how he feels about you. But yeah, good job. That was a fun, as long as we waited to have him on to see him. And you know what? He plays better when he plays like that. If you watched last night's game, there were moments when Kirill was reaching. And it wasn't going well when he was reaching. He was kind of like, he was just stretching for stuff. He wasn't moving and he was kind of stretching. And whenever he did that, he wouldn't get it. He'd get knocked away or it would bounce off, or he made a couple crazy passes and made up for some of them. But when he's playing with pace, Faber's doing this right now. Faber playing with Quinn, it's got to be terrifying. If you watch Brock on the ice right now, every time he doesn't have the puck, he is on his horse trying to get, 10 feet forward and turn as an option because he's playing with this Avenger, and it's completely changed Brock's game. Kirill needs to keep playing fast, move, skate, hips, be the frog on the dissection table, and go, because it makes a huge difference. And when you have him doing that, and you got Zuki making passes, and you got Quinn doing his thing, and Boldy using his body, that's when it doesn't matter if there's a couple teams in the top 5 that we have to run up against in the playoffs.
So this is funny that you mentioned that, because this was shortly after the Hughes trade. NHL Edge, you familiar with that site?
I'm not.
So it's an NHL.com like tab, and it tracks like the data.
Okay, this is like speed.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
Like your time on ice, the distance you travel. And I noticed the same. And I was like, hey, NHL stats, can you help me find like how much on average Brock Faber skated distance-wise before the Quinn Hughes trade?
It has to
and
be.
how much he skates after the Quinn Hughes trade.
It has to be terrifying. And he's got a Camelback on with water.
And it is. It's like all of a sudden he's skating more with Quinn Hughes. Like the time on ice, I think, is pretty similar, but he just covers way more distance, because like even in the zone, it's not like he's got the boots on the blue line and they're playing ozone time like that. If the puck's down there, you see him like around the net, then he's back on the blue line, then he's picking up a loose puck in the corner, then he's through the slot the other way, then it's a back check hard. So he's skating all over the place. And
I also think, and I'm a Faber apologist at the core, but this guy, I think he's the kid from The Sixth Sense. Like the lack of credit that he gets just in general. I'm talking Olympic team. We got Quinn here, who's a superstar, but Brock Faber is putting together a season.
Yeah.
He was first star last night, so obviously someone was paying attention. 3 assists last night. This guy, Faber, right? He's got 46 points. I think that's a career high, or it's right in the window. He's a plus 22. I mean, the guy is...
He was minus 10 to start the year.
This guy is playing such high level hockey, and he's kind of in this awesome spot where Quinn is this alien, Kirill and Boldy are doing the Batman Robin thing, and Brock has just settled into this like the most under the radar stud defenseman. I mean, stud. This guy could be a 60-point defenseman that's great on D, plays the PK, a huge part of the Olympic team, never gets talked about. It's like I see dead people. I swear to God, he's the kid from The Sixth Sense. No one's watching. Like this guy is doing really special things, but we have so many other things to talk about that it's been how he's changed his game with Quinn. He is on his horse.
Well, he's right. I think he's
without the
riding
puck
in
mostly.
Yeah.
Without the puck, he is flying.
He's riding in excitement with an opportunity to play with Hughes, and his game certainly does look different. And 3 assists last game. Like second power play gets one, and he's right time, right place right now.
His shots are always on net. That's another thing I love, right?
And he shoots from odd times. Like he's not afraid to shoot from the back foot, high up in the zone on a failed clear to the net. He gets it there. I think there's some intelligence to where he's putting the puck at times too. Like it's not like he's got to get it, walk the blue, wind it up, hammer it home. I think there's some smarts and like when he's delivering the puck to the net too, that is helping him collect some of these points. But he has been good. That group he and Hughes were criticized a little bit over the last couple of games, and it is probably worthy of a deep dive in the stats because offensively they're great. They've got a lot of ozone possession time, but on the counterattack at times they've been exposed a little bit, and they've gotten beat on quick plays behind the net to the slot and different things, but they cover it on the other end, and Brock's still plus 22. Like at the end of the game, he's still a plus player, but they're on the ice for some of these goals against. But hey, back to the total skating distance. This is another topic, but food for thought. It's going to 84 games next year. And I think I've mentioned this, like I'd like to see it for the integrity of the statistics that no player plays more than 82 games.
Yeah, you got to sit two.
Yeah, you got to sit two somehow. And most guys, might miss some for maintenance or a bump or a bruise. And it would be interesting to have a coach have to like think about when he wants to sit guys. Like you don't want to save them all for the last 2 of the year. That would kind of be fun and interesting. But the point is here, like the extra miles and distance and energy skated. So watching Quinn Hughes last night. Now Quinn Hughes in overtime is another cheat code. And I think
2 minutes, right?
I think another reason when you look at this team and you're like, the Wild are legit. Quinn Hughes last night, what the Wild have this year are guys that in a tough spot want to grab the bull by the horns and say, I'm going to do it. So Chicago ties that game late. Quinn Hughes is on the ice in OT, and he's like, I haven't seen him do this. Like, he's beaver tapping for the puck. Like, he wants it. Like, get it to me. He's breaking the D down. He's using the edges.
He's shooting.
The forward group changes, and he's like, no, I'm still staying out. It wasn't as obvious as the Olympic, like, no, I'm good, but staying out on the ice, then getting a shot, hitting the post, setting it up, keeping the puck in the zone. Eventually, he goes for a change, and I think Johansson comes on the ice and Faber's on the ice, and the game eventually ends. But they have guys that are like, grab the bull by the horn. I want it to be me. We're not losing this game. And I don't actually think that's not the right way to say it. We're winning this game.
That's right.
And they execute. But the question is, at the end of the day, do all those extra minutes, because I saw Quinn Hughes look fatigued for the first time ever after OT in Chicago. Do those extra miles and those extra minutes, do they add up over the course of the year? Do they tire you out? Now, I thought, no, it's fine. But skating distance. So who has the highest skating distance in the NHL this year?
Quinn Hughes.
He's second. McDavid has won almost 280 miles. Like, that's a lot of miles.
Well, then the theory is no, because he's been to the Cup Finals the last 2 years. So I don't think he's tired.
Quinn Hughes is second with 260 miles, 261.
And McKinnon's third?
No, Kirill's third,
Oh.
which was a surprise, 252 miles. I know. Faber's seventh, 245 miles.
What an amazing stat.
Think about that, 245 miles. I'm like, you know what? No, these couple extra minutes don't matter. But then you're like, dude, that's a lot of miles you're putting on the body.
I like that odometer. What now? Do you have the split pre-Quinn, post-Quinn?
I don't have that right now.
That's because I'm telling you, man. It reminds me a little bit of, the D thing when, say, McDavid's flying at you, and there's those rare moments in the NHL where the D-man will turn backwards and just skate to get reset up. Every time Brock passes the puck to Quinn, he does that. He just skates 10 feet somewhere and turns and opens up because he knows, I don't know what the hell this guy's going to do. I got to be ready, right? I got to play.
And he's not going to turn it over.
Yeah, I got to have support. And I got to get somewhere quick because he's moving. So that's amazing. Kirill, good for you.
I didn't realize that he skates, that Kirill. That one surprised me a little bit. I thought Faber would be ahead of Kirill, but Kirill's always moving. Like, 250, almost 3 miles skated, so that's pretty good. Hey, what's your take on the new guys?
Love the big boy. I love having another dude. He crushed Bedard at the start of that game.
McCarron.
Yeah, he's a joy. I think
he's going to be good.
He's going to be a playoff guy. I think we're going to like him. I bet Brunette was super pissed.
Wild peeled two playoff guys out of Nashville, McCarron and Trenyon.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, I told you when I went to Nashville, they had a whole video tribute to Trenyon. They had like a bunch of people wearing his jersey. So that's a guy that did some damage in the playoffs. But love him. I don't know enough about Bobby and Fabry. Like I just don't know Petrie, right? Like they almost, when they're in the lineup, it's weird to me. I'm like, they don't feel like they're one of our guys yet because I haven't. But for whatever reason, McCarron feels like he's settled in, like he's in the cake mix. And then of course Foligno. I almost think there's pre-brother and post-brother. Like I'm enjoying that he's on the team and they're making some nice social content with the Bogosian kids, but I need to see Marcus and Nick on the ice at the same time. I need Band of Brothers to really evaluate that one. But I love the depth. I really do. I love that playoffs are hard. People forget. Brodin was hurt after 6 games in that Vegas series a couple years ago. Guys start falling down. Pavelski was knocked out by Dumba, right? Like when you get into playoff hockey, if you don't have layers, and the layers can't be non-NHL guys. Right. Now we got.
Yeah, you don't want to go to your cupboard and grab.
You don't want to be pulling some
your rookies.
Yeah, like some guy that's not ready for this, right? I don't know that and so now we've got kind of a bunch of dudes in the press box that could easily be on the ice. So I like McCarron a lot. I guess I don't know enough about the other guys yet.
Yeah, and they haven't had the opportunity that McCarron has. I think McCarron was the guy that they targeted, they wanted. Some thought a second pick was expensive for him. Yeah, big
confident.
Face-offs, will finish his hits. It's tough. Like playoff guy that can complement and create space. Like just run D down, and for the skill guys when they get their shift, like McCarron's the kind of guy, and Hines has talked about this, like the importance, especially like late in seasons, setting up other lines. So McCarron's group goes out, runs Bedard, runs the D, plays hard, physical down low, wins the battle, low to high, go to the net, do it.
And then
Tired.
goal.
Eventually, that group takes a penalty or they ice.
Yep.
Right. And then the big guys come out, then they win their face off, execute, and then the puck's in the back of the net. So setting up the next group.
He's a guy that's going to have some bugs on his windshield in the playoffs. I mean, you're going to have to get the squeegee out. If you're a defenseman that's playing McCarron in the playoffs, you better do a shoulder check because he's coming. So, yeah, I've loved him. I have no idea on the other guys.
I think they're going to be good plug and play guys. Petrie got into a game. He's good, right shot, big guy, puck moving defenseman more. Could be a good complement to Middleton in the playoffs too if he slots on that right side. He played one game in the place of Bogosian. Fabry looks like a guy that's fast. But how about we have to say something about Tarasenko because at the beginning of the year we were like, this is great, but is he? Detroit moved on from him. Florida won a cup with him, but they didn't re-sign him. But the number seems fair. What are we getting with Tarasenko? And we thought at the beginning of the year, if you got 20-20 with Tarasenko, that'd be a great year.
39 points right now. 19 goals. This guy, first of all, the other thing, Carts, this guy's going to be a playoff factor.
Yeah.
You can take it to the bank.
And you can
this guy is going to get a GWG. He's going to score goals in the playoffs. He's been revitalized. All of the concern, we need McCarron in here to kill that bug. But love him. I mean, he's been great. And I love the whole, I think he blows a kiss to his wife after he scores or something. It's just awesome. Yeah, he's been just digging in,
And it looks different when he moves to the top six. It like almost invigorates him. Like you see the difference, and then he knows what the assignment. And
he's a stallion. He's not a quarter horse.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't need to come back and get the feed. He wants to run. He wants the colors on him.
But he's done a good job as a vet. Being comfortable in the stable, waiting for his turn to run. On the third line. Like this year he's been. I'll take the role. I'll play the role, and then top six opens up, and he's like, I can score.
He's like, have you heard of me?
Yeah.
I used to be Kirill.
Yeah.
Did you see it? I won a Stanley Cup. Yeah. I won a couple Stanley Cups. So, he's going to be a factor. I think Billy already gets a pat on the back on that one, getting him for a bag of pucks. But I really think the payoff will be in the playoffs. If you can get 20 goals out of Hartsey this year and 20 goals out of Tarasenko, that starts to – and then what JoJo's done, right? We should talk about him as well. 43 points. You could feel the fan base – we haven't had this in a while this season. This sort of I've decided I don't like this guy.
The whipping boy a little bit.
Yeah, it was coming.
Redheaded stepchild.
Hadn't scored since January. And, it was like, even the reporters are like, Hines, what do you think of Johansson's game? Like questions like that. And then last night, a goal and 2 assists. By the way, the one on the overtime winner to Zuki was just an all-timer. I mean, whenever you get an assist where the guy scores and he just points at you, like, this isn't even about me. That was a great pass. So, Jesus, I mean, JoJo, 43 points. I mean, that's one less than Eriksson Ek. I mean, he is right in that group of the top 6.
Yeah.
He's got more points than Zuccarello.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I think those are very important pieces. They have to keep it up in the playoffs.
They will.
I know Hartsey, I really believe in Tarasenko. We'll see JoJo in the playoffs too, but I'm feeling good. Do you, when you want to feel good in your home, what do?
Wow, this is good.
You didn't see that coming, did you? I tell you, when you're on the far post, Carts, you got to be ready.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, many homeowners, Kinger, don't realize how much hard or poor quality water affects your daily life. You know who does, though? I do. Sensitive skin. You got to get that hair going. You know all about the hair. It's way better with nice, soft wash.
Kirill doesn't know about the hair.
Some of these issues might include, your cloudy water, bad taste, buildup on fixtures. Talked about the skin, appliance issues. Aquarius is an authorized independent Connecticut dealer, and Connecticut systems provide worry-free water throughout your entire home. They've got professional testing and customized solutions. System starting at $9.95 per month for the first 3 months. You can get a free in-home water quality test anytime. I've actually used that recently. That was nice. Needed some help with my water. You know all about the water troubles at my house. Aquarius handles everything from the testing to installation. They're one call, no problems, with your problem solved. You visit AquariusHomeservices.com. Check them out. Earning the right to be recommended, Kinger. And speaking of earning the right to be recommended, would you recommend any
grocers?
I
would go with
food.
I would go with Cub. And the St. Patrick's Day story is a great example. Meal planning can be stressful. It can feel like a chore, but sometimes it can make it fun. When you say, you know what, it's St. Patrick's Day, just like someone's wearing green to the office, let's head over to Cub and make a Reuben. Let's get some green Jell-O for the kids. Let's make a peppermint bonbon shake. Let's have some fun. Tonight I'm going to have from Cub some Mediterranean bowls. So kind of like a gyro in a bowl.
You're having that tonight?
Yeah, having that tonight. Got that established this morning, leaving the house.
Is that how your house does it?
Yeah, well, not usually,
like
but yeah. I already told you I can't go to Cub because every item I have to ask where it is. By the way, everyone knows where everything is at a grocery store, which is cool. But to do it point by point like that, not great. But yeah, Mediterranean bowls, there'll be some leftovers. I don't think I'll dabble in the leftovers. That's a little healthy for me, so probably a one-time deal. But yeah, go over to Cub. They're one of us. They love sports. They support the community, whether it's college sports, Wild on 7th. Certainly they're involved, and they're one of us. Shop happy at Cub.
Hey, so speaking of NHL Edge and distance tracking, you make a good point. If I have a list at the grocery store, I know where it all is, but I don't think I have efficiencies in like getting what's around at the list. I go and order, and I'm like
that's right. Point
my
to
track
point
would be like all over, and I'd probably cover like 2 miles distance at the grocery store.
I would have
Where
the
I think
highest
my mom
miles.
or my wife would be like, it'd just be like a perfect circle kind of, and then eventually make their way to the checkout. You know,
That's right. I would be in a holding pattern. I would have the highest miles on that NHL Edge. If I go to Cub and try to get 11 things, yeah, my route would be just brutal.
Hey, I wanna. This is delicate, but so big issue. We haven't talked about it yet. Eriksson Ek injured.
Yeah, and I don't know. I missed this whole thing. When did he get hurt?
Nobody knows.
And what's wrong with him?
He got hurt in such a Eriksson Ek way that nobody actually knows what hurt. Like, he probably got hurt. I think the guy must have either the world's highest pain tolerance or doesn't feel pain, and finishes the game, looks fine. And then
they're like, your back is broken.
Yeah, something. And then the good news is Guerin came out, and I think it was Russo reported that he mentioned that he's going to miss at least 3 games, and then Hines said he's day-to-day. What's concerning is last year, about the same time, it was late February, though, that Ek got hurt, and he missed 21 games. I think he came back, tried to play, couldn't play.
That's right before the playoffs.
Yeah, and then he came back with 4 games to go, and then into the playoffs. I think it was even, this is almost 3 years in a row, like he got hurt 2 years ago late in the season too, and then he came back right for the playoffs, or maybe he got hurt in the playoffs against Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been 3 years ago. But nonetheless, Wild, they struggled without him. It was, I think, the record 8-10-3 in those 21 games.
Well, I remember, this is kind of for the podcast listeners, he got hurt a few years ago, and we talked about it on the pod. And at the time, you were kind of like, we'll see. And then we got off the pod, and I was like, I'm like, if this goes on a long time, what do you think? And you were like, it's not good. This guy is in every spot, in all the things, and he is a linchpin for the team. So I would think I don't know. I bet he plays on Saturday against Dallas if I had to bet. I think that game is circled. And if Hines is saying he's day-to-day, I don't know. I think we see him on Saturday. I don't think it's going to be the same as we've seen in the past. I'm just all optimism now. I'm just
The thing that scares me is...
So you think we got a slippery slope here? This is like a 15-minute delay on your flight? Like,
I'm not sure. But I do think that he's built different. So if it was a day-to-day, I feel there's no day-to-day with Eriksson Ek.
He's Monty Python. He's missing an arm and it's a flesh wound?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a little concerning that way. Guerin said he's going to miss at least the next 3 games.
And when did he say that?
I think that was before the Chicago game, because last night's game was the first game that he had missed.
So he's for sure out Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
But Hines says day-to-day. Those are 2 different things.
Day-to-day, I just think means that it's not week to week.
Okay, so quit asking me about Eriksson Ek is what that means.
Yeah, or it's just...
Until Sunday.
We don't know until Sunday as much. So little concerning there, but I look around the league, and I don't know if there's a correlation.
They're dropping, dude. I mean, Draisaitl.
It's guys that played in the Olympics.
The Matthews hit.
So, again...
That was terrible, but yeah, I mean, stars are getting hurt.
Yeah, the big guys are getting hurt right now. And... You can't maybe directly correlate it to the Olympics, but I think, again, going back to the thought on Hines managing all this.
Four Nations was the same thing.
Yeah, just rest is paramount for these guys. Double down. Don't panic if you drop a game. Like this is where Florida kind of had it figured out, I think, last year. They didn't panic down the stretch if they lost a couple games. They're like, we just got to get to the playoffs, and we know we can win rounds. Like, winning a playoff round is different than playing in the regular season. So Florida just had like a different confidence about that. I think when you're a true contender, you have that confidence. You're like, I don't care who we have to play. It doesn't matter. The regular season doesn't matter. And what matters is, can you win a playoff round? Are you mentally strong enough to go on 1, 2, 3 round, challenges and come out on top? And I think that this next couple of weeks, it'd be great for me to see the Wild kind of take that mentality, be like, it doesn't matter where we fall. We got to give our guys the rest that they need. What matters is that they're ready to go when it matters, which is in the middle of April and beyond.
You saying like load management, like
not necessarily load management, but at the same time, just the narrative where the Wild aren't practicing, they don't do enough, they're not good enough. Double down and say no, we don't care. We are good enough. We're resting. This is part of the plan. We're executing the plan. This isn't about beating Dallas on game 60 or 70 of the year. This is about beating Dallas first round in the playoffs or Colorado.
Act like you've been there before.
Yeah, and that the process. But it's interesting when you look around the league, the big guys getting hurt. Like, it's Dylan Larkin, it's Draisaitl.
Matthews was a little different deal, but yeah.
Matthews was different, but still, when you're tired, you're in spots where you get hurt a little bit. I'm not saying he is tired or wasn't tired, but...
Oh, he's tired. I'm sure. That's been a long season in Toronto. So let's look ahead a little bit.
Real quick, before we do that, since you brought it up, I want to talk about this. That hit on... There's been a lot of noise about this Gudas hit on Austin Matthews.
Yep.
5-game suspension.
Mostly because it was a phone call. This guy has a history of doing this. Star player. And I think if he would have gotten like 7, 8 games, no one would have said anything. But yeah, the fact that it was just sort of a phone... It was almost like a parking ticket. People didn't like that. I thought it was really hard to watch. And then the no response from Toronto, at all. Just kind of like, just watched it happen. But what was your take on it? I mean, I think McDavid even spoke out.
I think that's what...
That'll catch your attention.
And that's what fanned the flames a little bit is, and I don't know that McDavid fully meant this, but it's like, I think he was asked about it and had a comment on it that, maybe you got to look at the system because you've got Toronto asking for so much more because that's their guy. And you've got the Department of Player Safety saying we have a process and this is a 5-gamer based on our process. And then it's, well, maybe we need to open up the process. I think the Department of Player Safety has done a really good job, and managers feel differently, and I think fan bases do too. And it's not like the outcome that they're punishing; it's the act. And I think the George Peros regime with Ryan Getzlaff has done a much better job of taking out the outcome. Yeah, Austin Matthews has a knee injury, and that sucks. But you do play the game, and injuries do happen. Was it a dirty or an illegal hit? Yes. Does it merit a suspension? Yes. And then they have their process on where that fits. I think previously it was almost an eye for an eye. Oh, Matthews is out. Like we're going to wait to have this hearing till we see what Matthews says about the doctors or what the doctors say about Matthews. Oh, he's out for the season. We better give him a 10-gamer. And that's the way it used to be.
And you can't do that.
It's not that way anymore. No. Now it's next day you have a hearing or the following day if it's an in-person, whatever it might be. But there's a process to it. And then they figure it all out and they render their judgment and the consequence. And 5 games, that's a lot this time of year. That's a lot of games, especially for Anaheim, a team that's chasing a playoff spot. That's significant. So personally, I endorse the Department of Player Safety. I think they've done a good job. I think that they also value this. Another thing that gets lost, they value every player. And Toronto might value Austin Matthews more than they do their bottom 6 guys, and they're like, that's our top guy. You got to give Gudas more. Do you think a guy, and this is legit, and the answer to this might be yes. Do you think that they should factor in that that's Austin Matthews versus their 4th line center? Because if that same hit occurred to the 4th line center, you want to know how much noise would be made? None.
None. I don't think you can do that though, because it's a players' union,
and that's why. Like
it's a union.
Nobody wants to say this. Be like, Austin Matthews is just one of 700. He's a great player.
It's a union,
unbelievable player. But he's one of 700 and something. He got hurt. That sucks. But you can't punish Gudas because it was Austin Matthews versus Ryan Carter or some other equivalent player. You know what I mean?
I mean, like Al Stalock.
Yeah. You hear my point?
Yeah.
But there's noise because it was Austin Matthews. And now that Department of Player Safety, which I think has done a good job coming up with the system, and they've been pretty consistent with it, is now under scrutiny. And I just don't think that that's right. And, but
they've been letting it go a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the old days, you'd see somebody get 46 games, and the Chris Simon era, I think that was Shanahan running.
Well, let's also look at the aggregate. They've cleaned up the game with the rule changes that the Department of Player Safety has put into play and some of these things. You don't see the open ice elbows to the head. You don't see the dirty hits anymore. This one was a knee-on-knee hit. Unfortunate. But that's not the dirty hit. A lot of the dirty hits that would merit those longer ones are gone. They're gone from the game because of the Department of Player Safety. So on one hand, we need to say, hey, what they're doing is working. The game has gotten cleaner and safer. It's still a physical game, and people are going to get hurt, and there's still going to be players like Gudas that challenge players and walk that line, but yeah, I think the game's in a good spot, and the Department of Player Safety's done a good job. That's all I have to say about that.
I like it. We got to look back on one thing. So Gus leaves the game again last night.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. He might be celiac.
I was going to say he needs that gluten-free Reuben.
I should talk to him. I don't know if he's going to switch his number to number 2. I don't know what's going on, or if he's throwing up, but it was amazing to watch. You guys did a good job showing it on the bench. Like Hines was just like, "Hey, was that our goalie?"
Yeah,
that just ran down the tunnel. And then every time Volstad gets put into the game, it's a hornet's nest. He's just like, he's doing one post, the next post, and then he's basically in a battle, like a musket fight and then Gus comes back in. I missed that whole thing. I thought they scored on Volstad, but I mean, I don't know what's going on, but he's definitely, that's got to be like the first time in history that a goalie has left twice during the season to vomit, if that's what he did. What did you make? I mean, it's odd, right?
Yeah, it's odd. It caught everybody by surprise. The cameras did a great job catching him going to the bench, and it was such a decisive skate to the bench where it looked like maybe he was going to get a new stick or a drink of water, and then he just climbed the bench and almost Quinn Hughes-like fashion, but it went entirely unnoticed.
And Hines was like,
he was like hiding in plain sight. Yeah, and then Gustafson has to like lift the bench, and then he goes down the tunnel. And then as he's going down the tunnel, that's when both coaches are like, they look at each other kind of perplexed a little bit, and they're that's our goalie.
Hey, we're gonna need.
It's a TV timeout. We got 45 seconds.
Hey, we're gonna need
a goalie.
We're gonna need the other goalie to go in.
So then they're like, what just happened? And post game, Hines is like, I didn't know if it was an equipment issue. Didn't know if it was like he got injured. Illness, didn't know, and they're trying to figure this out. And so
they still didn't know post game.
No. Hines is saying in the moment he didn't know what was going to happen.
Did they say post game what happened?
Yeah, he just didn't feel well.
Okay. Did he get sick again? Or
I think so.
I guess once you vomit on your jersey in an NHL game, if you start to feel it again, you're getting off. You don't need that unless he could sell those, like work a deal with Fanatics. But
new look. Yeah, this one. Yeah, both times is a white jersey. So then Volstead comes out, jumps in the net, and you're right. Like it's like
crazy
side to side chance, boom, boom. A couple of good saves, 2-on-1. Donato, who's a wild killer, had a good look, big save on that one. And then Gus in the tunnel is like, "Hey, coach, I'm good." Like Adam Banks, like. Hey,
put me back in, and then it's like, and when they score on him, it's like not chaos,
Yeah,
Volstead has to be like, what the hell, But yeah, Donato for me, by the way, is my Jack Eichel. I just do not like this guy, and it's probably because he does well against us, and he just, I don't know, he's a true snipe, like he's a shooter, he's a trigger man.
Yeah.
He steals a puck a lot from us, which bugs me. Yeah, Donato is definitely on my list of like most disliked players, but hopefully Gus. If I know, I have some gluten-free cheese that's at my house. They're very difficult to get, so reach out to me.
To get down?
No, they're delicious. They taste just like
cardboard.
They taste amazing. So looking ahead, Chicago again. I will say Connor Bedard. Was not a fan of him first couple years.
Me too.
Didn't like his game. He's playing hard now.
Yeah.
He'll
go to the net.
He looks like a different player. When he's winning a puck battle from Hartsey, like right in front of the net, I'm like, Jesus, who's this guy? He's getting thrown into the wall all the time. So he's changed his game. He's playing 200 foot. It's absolutely true.
I think the pressure from Celebrini has changed.
Yeah.
Like,
and
Bedard wanted to be like the
McDavid.
Well, yeah, just like the perimeter, I'm so skilled, almost like the Eichel.
Or Gavin McKenna.
Yeah, like just I'm so skilled that I don't have to play the game hard. And then Celebrini enters the NHL, and the guy's, a 200-foot player, tough, goes to the net, still
makes the
skilled.
Olympic team.
Yeah, all that. And then Bedard is like, maybe I got to do that too.
Yeah, he's a handful. He's a handful right now. Combined with that shot, it's absolutely true. The NHL is a great league. I mean, you look we lost to the last place team in one division, the last place team in the next division. Chicago was last place in their division, and got out of it last night. But there's no easy points. So I would love my wish with these next couple games. We'll get into Dallas on Saturday, but. I want so Kirill's at 80 points, Boldy at 75. I think, and throw Quinn in there at 67. I do think it's important for our star guys to be feeling great about themselves by the end of the season, right? So I'd like to see these guys get their cookies. I'd like to see Kirill finish around. This is asking a lot, but around 95, 97 points, like really have a nice stretch
97.
here. 97 is what I really want. It is. But I want to see Boldy crack 90 points. Now that's 15 points in 13 games. Let's get Quinn up to 80. I think if these stars, and I don't, we might be kind of locked in where we're going to play, but let's get there. Let's not have any doubt. Let's have a lot of games where we score 3 goals. Let's get our top guys feeling good about themselves. Let's keep, the Tarasenkos and the Hartmans and the JoJos chipping in, Eriksson Ek when he comes back. But I do think it's important, Kaprizov, Boldy, Quinn 2 points a game kind of stuff. Like this is what I'm looking at these last 13 games. And then I have a question for you. So the Saturday game, Dallas, okay? By all accounts, it appears we're going to play them in the playoffs. A lot of history there. Not a fan of Dallas at all. Anyone grew up in the state shouldn't be. And it sounds like from your earlier comments in the pod that it's like, let's not get carried away. This is not the first game of the playoff series, right? But man, 3:00 start, 70 degrees on Saturday. I mean, I might wear a helmet to this game. I mean, this has got all the markings for like face down brown, maybe a frozen pizza when you get home. Like this could be a good one. Do you believe that is a tone setter? Is that a game that matters if you're going to play them in the playoffs? Or is it just another game? And there's no wrong answer.
I think it's just another game, but I do think they recognize it's a battle of the Titans a little bit, where you have to bring your best. And I don't think it's going to be, and I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be we're playing each other in the playoffs and I'm going to set the tone right now. I don't know that there's an outcome of that game that.
Do you think there are fights in that game? Do you think there's a scumbag factor? Do you think all of a sudden Tyler Myers is on their team, right? He got traded to them. Mm-hmm. Do you think you're seeing like belt high cross checks on 97 copyright Ryan Suter a couple years ago? I mean, you're gonna
Logan Stanley-ish.
Yeah.
Gosh, good question.
I just wonder if I wonder if there's a little bit of like I don't know.
Is Hartman gonna?
Yeah, is Hartsey doing Hartsey things? He's a funny man. I don't know. I
actually think some of that depends on Thursday's game.
I think I need to go.
I think some of that depends on Thursday's game, Dallas versus Colorado.
Have you given your tickets away for Saturday? Let me know. But I think
who's asking?
I don't know. I'm
working the game.
Let's just call it curious. Let's go have a look.
I think Dallas plays Colorado on Thursday, so maybe Dallas has two of those games back to back. Where it's like, hey, playoff implication. I don't know how Dallas will respond. I really don't. It might be just business as usual. I think Minnesota will look at that one because if you look at their track record, and they've been scrutinized for it as of late.
They beat the good teams,
dynamite against the good teams,
and lose to the bad teams.
Yeah, so I think that they're going to bring a good game. What it looks like, I think we see the Wild's best playoff version of a game. I don't think we see some scumbag. Could be wrong. I think we just see like a tight, good game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because it is true. Like, we pumped Colorado a few weeks ago. If we were to play them in the playoffs, do I think we're better off because we beat them, 4 weeks ago? No. But, like, I do think it'd be interesting with the goaltending, too, right? So if Ottinger is in net on Saturday, I think that's interesting. Can you put 4 behind him? This guy's had our number, right? Minnesota kid. He's been a problem. I never pronounce his name right either. How do you actually say his name?
I think it's Ottinger.
Ottinger, yeah. Oh well.
Don't change, King.
I'm not going to change it, but So I don't know. I'm. That's one I got circled just to go give it a look-see.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting too how the Wild goaltending plays this. So.
That's right.
Gus was in the cage for the Chicago game. Are you going to ride him 3 straight? You're going to go Chicago again and then give him Dallas? Or are you giving Wally Chicago, which I think is possible? Wally has been good against Chicago. He had a shutout.
And Wally got carved by Dallas, right? In like his first year, like 7-0.
So in his first year, he got, this is intriguing, carved by Dallas 7-1
or something.
Yeah. And then went to the minors, but I think they called him up eventually and gave him another game in Chicago that year.
Shut him out.
And then he shut him out.
Yeah, I think you got to run, just for putting him in for those 3 minutes, you have to let him play against Chicago. Yes.
And I think that's it. They Wally, Chicago, then Gus Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't see the Otter on Saturday. It sounds like Eck maybe won't be in the lineup, so it's not quite.
That changes things.
How close is Marcus to coming back? Do we know? He was up in the press.
I heard he just started skating.
Okay.
So that's the first step. Timeline unknown, but it's a good step that he's on the skates.
I will say, so I was on spring break and I listened to a lot of national media. I did a lot of like the Chicklets pods and the 32 Thoughts and all the things. And it was discouraging how the Wild are just being overlooked.
It might be a good thing.
Okay. Yeah. Like maybe a Brock Faber, we're in the weeds here, but like it's a lot of this, like, I can't wait to see Dallas play Colorado. It's going to be amazing. And I'm sitting there thinking like, geez, I'm like, I have my hand up. Like, hey, we're over here. By the way, the best acquisition in free agency wasn't Nazem Kadri. It was Quinn Hughes. We just did it a month early. Like,
trading.
And can we get the spotlight over here? So I know that doesn't matter, but if the team wants even a little more juice for the bulletin board, top 5 team in the NHL that is not getting.
If this that's intriguing that you say that, because
it's across the board too. I listen to all the stuff.
Yeah, it's similar because you say Brock Faber's in this great spot where he's behind Quinn Hughes and Kaprizov, Boldy, but he's dynamite. Nobody talks about him, but still a dynamite player. I think the Wild are the NHL's version of Brock Faber. Really good, dynamite, but somehow in the shadow of Colorado, Dallas, and even to some degree, Vegas, Edmonton, and you go out east, they still think that Carolina and
Tampa.
Yeah, and those teams, they're in the shadow. Great place to be if you're a great player, because you just go about your business without any pressure or distraction, and you just plug away. And I think that the Wild might be that version. Now, when you acquire a guy like Quinn Hughes and Marc-Andre Fleury, and you've got players like, let's not forget, they're sneaking up on nobody. Like Matt Boldy and Kaprizov, I think, are tied for 4th in the NHL or 3rd in the NHL with goals. So, like, it doesn't take long to look that there's some star power there either. So, but if they can just fly under the radar a little bit and surprise teams, take a game or two early on, like, wow, like that makes a big difference.
No, and we gotta have some playoff success. We gotta win rounds. We gotta go on a run. And, it certainly doesn't start on Saturday, but it'll be interesting to see.
All right. Hey, Huss or Gilly, I think hopefully it's not Ryan Donato that you have for trivia this week, because Kinger will be upset. But should we get this in here?
Yeah, let's find out, shall we?
I feel like this is rigged. Like you guys talked about doing something. I don't trust this. All right.
Negative.
Let's do it.
Right. Not rigged. Not rigged. I think this one might have been in the holster for weeks. Is this because we haven't done one in probably 3 weeks, right?
You sure know a lot about it.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. So
I'm not going to say if this has been holstered or not.
When you guys came up with this, like, how many of the questions did you write? All right, let's
Coming
go.
from the guy.
Let's go. Hey, by the way,
got a hidden camera.
My best
on this
bold
notebook.
predictions. I'm just the best at bold predictions. Okay, ready? Let's go.
All right, clue number 1. This player played in 5 professional leagues. Number 2. First year pro, underwhelming performance with 8 points. However, his second year, 59 points. Clue number 3. Once named league MVP prior to his NHL debut.
Okay, let's pause for a minute here. Did you say something about when he came into the league there at the end? Did you say league? What did you say at the end of that?
I said he was once named the league MVP
Prior to
his NHL debut.
Oh, prior to his NHL debut. So an MVP that's come through the Wild of the entire league that had a slow start, 8 points out of the gates.
I want to ring in.
You want one more clue?
Yeah, I do.
No. Just do it. Do it. Why don't you do it now?
I'll wait.
You're an NHLer. I'm just a fan.
The theme song of his favorite movie is performed by Michael Jackson.
This is a Kinger question. So he's had to put in Kinger questions because you're like, you can't all be about hockey.
Michael Jackson theme song. Thriller, Beat It, Billie
Doesn't help
Jean,
me at all.
Human Nature.
McCart's rang in. Are we waiting?
No, I'm waiting now.
Now, the player can't be currently on the team, right? It's got to be an alumni. Or is it? I don't know what the rules are.
I don't think there's rules like that.
Yeah, we don't think there's rules.
This is not bowling.
We should know this. There's not very many MVPs in the league.
Well, next question or next clue.
In his NHL debut, he scored in a shootout.
I'm still going to go for this. All right. Pierre-Marc Bouchard?
He never won the MVP of the NHL.
Well, no. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Jeez, sloppy. I'm going to get one here. How many more questions you got? 10? Do you have one that is the spelling of his name?
Signed in the KHL after starting his NHL career.
That doesn't mean he's
To
Russian.
return
That's a trick
to
question.
NHL.
That's a trick question. So this is like a guy that played in the K that stopped here briefly. I don't even know if we had like a Kovlichuk or a... Do you already know the answer now?
No, this is hard.
I cannot believe we had an MVP of the whole league that I'm forgetting. All right, give me more. Just keep going. Tell me this
Player
name.
also won a President's Trophy.
Jesus Christ. So he was on the best team ever. The Russian thing could be a trap because he could have played in the KHL during the lockout or something, or I don't know. I don't think he's a Russian. I think it's a guy that played. This is such a bad guess, but I'm going to say.
Another clue?
Well, all right, I'm going to guess just because I want to have some respect. I don't even know if we've. I'm going to say I might be wrong again, but I don't know. We might have already had this guy. I'm going to say Eric Stahl.
Okay, so we're both back in.
You're both back in.
Okay, we're both back in.
Okay.
Played in the KHL, then came back to the NHL. All right. President's Trophy. 8 points his rookie year, 59 his next year. All right, what's a clue?
He loves P.F. Chang's.
Matt Zuccarello.
Well, you know what? Matt Boldy and Brock Faber also like P.F. Chang's. That was a trick question.
Yeah.
Matt Zuccarello was the MVP of the NHL?
No, so
No.
prior to his NHL debut.
What?
That's when he was an MVP. That just means he was so that told me, I thought that meant he was
like an
pick.
MVP in Norway or something?
Yeah. The reason that put me on Pierre-Marc Bouchard is I was has to be a first-round pick, a guy that scored 60 points. I didn't remember Pierre-Marc Bouchard's first year, but I was like, maybe it was abbreviated, only had 8 points, but the second year, 60 points sounds right. If he was an MVP of the Q, he would be a first-round pick. Like that's why I thought Pierre-Marc Bouchard. And
I thought this player, the way I took that question was that he had won the MVP of the NHL.
I know, and that's where I was like,
and you
I
knew
knew
that wasn't the case?
yes, that's why I was like, I'm going to let him.
Will you read the question again? Read the question again, please.
Prior. He said prior.
Hold on,
You
read the
asked
question
for
again.
qualification.
Once
prior.
named league MVP prior to his NHL debut.
Oh, is that dirty as hell? You know what that is? That is like I'm behind the
I
net.
got it.
That's like I'm behind the net. I'm not on Carter's team, and I'm like, carts, and he gives me a pass. That is
just-
so dirty.
Yeah, no, that's not that dirty. It just meant he was an MVP
That is bullshit.
on one of these teams before he played in the NHL.
Should we revisit the Michael Jackson theme song?
Yeah, what is that?
Apparently, he loves the movie Free Willy.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's the theme song of that?
Some Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I thought Michael was more of a chimp guy. Oh, man. And we have I'm staring at his bobblehead the entire time. Zuccarello would be so pissed if he listened to that. He'd be so disrespected.
There were tough clues, though. 5 professional leagues? So he must have played before American League, NHL. Did he play KHL?
Played Norway
Norway.
professionally. Played and won MVP in the Swedish league.
Okay.
AHL, KHL,
NHL.
NHL.
Zuki. And he had a bobblehead.
Undrafted.
No matter what he says, we're staring at it.
Undrafted.
Hey,
It's funny how his bobblehead, like, it actually isn't a bobblehead. It's a gnome.
it's small. Yeah.
Because that's like a gnome hat, right?
It's a gnome, yeah. Zook gnome.
God, look
So
at
for those of you listening, we ordered online. It's a Zuccarello bobbleless head gnome to sit next to his buddy Kirill on the bench here.
Kirill with amazing flow on this bobblehead.
Well, you got anything else? It feels good to win again. It feels good to win.
I would just say,
Wild and I have that feeling in common right now.
for the fan base, whether or not this Saturday game against Dallas has any relevance in a potential playoff series, I do think it's time to start hating the Dallas Stars. You can always get ahead of that.
I don't know that
You can watch a game.
I don't know that anybody needs their permission slips signed to hate. It's been that way since Norm Green took them to Dallas, right? The North Stars.
Yeah,
there's always been some hate there.
But it's time to let's awaken that, and we got to look at this year's roster and decide who we hate the most. They traded for a guy. They're supposed to have a prick on the roster now.
Yeah, he's not.
Bunting? Bunting gets talked about on these. I told you, I did the national media tour listening to all this stuff. They make it sound like Bunting is a Hartman or like a Sam Bennett or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember him that way either.
Or a Brad Marchand.
Or what's the guy that got traded for like 6 picks from Tampa, like who was also supposed to be an antagonist? So he's not Bunting?
Are you talking Janot?
Yeah. Tanner Janot.
I think Bunting might be mildly annoying. I don't think he's an agitator.
They made it sound like, and they're talking about him like they added this grit, this sandpaper guy.
Yeah.
No. Okay, good. So when he sees McCarron coming, he sees
Tyler Myers will be more of an issue than Bunting.
Okay, so I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna try to decide what I hate about Tyler Myers.
I haven't looked at Dallas's roster lately, but they've been making a bunch of noise without like Rupe Hintz, without Rantanen.
Tyler Sagan's out for the year, right?
Yeah, their 5-on-5 game's been dynamite. Their power play's been outrageous. Their goaltending's been good. Like they've been able to score.
The young kid's awesome. What's the young forward's name?
Johnson. He leads the NHL in power play goals. So you gotta stay out of
Wyatt Johnson is a problem. Yeah, we don't like him. He's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think we got to really start hating Dallas like right now. All of it.
Cool.
I might not even listen to country music for a while.
Cool.
All right, we're here.
Till it's here.
Peace.